maturity is realizing I'm not merely a thing or a person or a body. And if we pay attention to our language, we can realize that we actually know that, because we'll say, okay, nobody ever says, no physical body ever originates something that says, I have a conscious awareness. But conscious awareness says, I have a body. Mm. I have a house, I have clothes, I have a voice, I have an idea, I have feelings, I have, again, a body, and so on. And so you think, what's upstream of all of those things? Conscious awareness. Conscious. So the ultimate in our maturing is transferring the sense of identity from I'm a thing, I'm a finite thing, which is ultimately perishable, to I am the presence of love. And the trajectory of maturity, so to speak, is going to be moving from I'm a scared, separate person and I'm all locked into all my prohibitions and here's all the stuff that's the matter with me, to more and more and more and more, by following our own spiritual path, and there are many of them and they all lead to the same place, to more and more and more realizing, not thinking about, but having the experience, a growing experience of being the presence of love. Yeah. Which doesn't mature, in other words. So the only thing that kind of matures is our own thought processes, in other words, because what it is we really are, I mean, it is beyond, I mean, it's ridiculous to use those words in association with what we really are. But that the person that we think we are can continue to mature. The beliefs that we hold about ourselves can continue to get more and more and more and more accurate. And when you do that, you live in a much greater sense of following your intuition and your guidance, which is built into your conscious awareness. So the more you trust this presence that you are, you can call it conscious awareness, you can call it your presence, you can call it anything you want, but the invisible reality of us, the thing that says, I am. And our maturity, you might say, be measured, if anybody wants to do any measuring, is like, how much do I live, and to what degree do I live out of that sense of loving safety and trust that is inherent in conscious awareness, that is definitely not inherent in an ego mind, which lives under a state of siege, so to speak, all the time, whether we're aware of it or not.
Yeah. One of the reasons that we wanted to call this new membership program that we have Evolve is because we, as a foundation, we're wanting to help people to move from being perpetual students to being teachers of God. So in terms of what you're saying about moving to that conscious awareness, how does somebody move from constantly studying and feeling that they have more to learn and that their realization will be sometime in the future, to actually grasping it now?
Well, that's a great point, because one of the big teachings of the Course is cause and effect are always simultaneous. Now, we've made up the story that time and that cause and effect are separated, that I can do something now and the effect is going to be later. That's not what happens. Or we'll go, I'm so worried now because what if my daughter doesn't get into college next year? You can't be worried now about something that hasn't happened yet. Or you can't be upset about what somebody said to you last week. But we talk like that all the time, like cause is in one place and the effect is in the other. It's like if you drop a hammer on your foot, you're actually aware that the response is immediate. You don't drop your hammer on your foot and the next week you go, oh, that hurts. It all happens at once. So what's really necessary is realizing everything that I'm experiencing right now, not as a result of what's happening. Those are triggers. It's because of what it is, beliefs and notions and ideas and things about myself are being triggered right now in this moment. So one of the great kind of hallmarks of continuing to mature or evolve is stay present. Well, that's very hard for most people to do. It's like, no, I don't want to stay present. I want to run to all my addictions and I want to be distracted. And I want to, the things that we can do to distract ourselves are absolutely without limit. But you go, if to ask somebody sometimes to just sit and be quiet and to just focus on something for like 2 minutes, it's like, no, I can't do that, because you'll start to be aware of how you feel